Yes, there it is.
Yeah, it's recording
Yes.
is on.
So then, Dorothy and Justina, as I am not therefore somebody that has seen the development of that process in Buenos Aires, but I have seen lots of training of a similar level, of with similar characteristics or distribution of the techniques in many groups, because it's part of the technology in terms of education that we have accumulated over the years in the humanist movement. So it should not be different. But what is amazing is to see results of people that really are in the environment of a prison, and coming from many different strata in society. I assume that they are all petty criminals, not people who have committed serious blood crimes or something like that, because normally they are in high security prisons. But I don't see any reason why it can adapt this technology into different prison environments, because the human beings, no matter of how serious the crimes that they have committed, are similar in the structure, in the manner of being, in the contradiction for the things that have happened to them, etc., etc. That as an intro. And then here is a small presentation of the in that material that we have distributed from that Julius have sent to you. It explains the general objectives and the contents of the workshops, but it doesn't dwell on the particularities of each one of the contents. But we already know them, in the sense that when it talks of correct body postures, that is the first session, then it's very important that if you keep the right posture, and you make sure that you can breathe properly, and that you do not exert muscles that you don't need for the operation in which you are at the moment, you keep your energy for yourself and you feel better. You are in a more positive mood, and then you tend to interact with other people and with yourself in more favorable terms, let's say. Sometimes we have habits and we have tensions that they are not necessary for life, and they consume lots of energy and put you in a negative mood. And many times we don't know the reasons for that. So that is like starting explaining how much we depend from the operation of our bodies, how we manage our bodies. Our bodies are, in theory, our best friends, the closest friends that we have while we are alive. And we want it to respond in the best possible manner in our process of adaptation to life and contribution to life. So there is a whole philosophy that sees the body as part of the world, of the physical world. Evolution has put the body in a position where they can be most adaptable. The human species is the most elevated species in the process of creation, and we have an incredible potential that often, because we are not taught about it, we do not develop, or we don't use it appropriately. But we are capable of doing incredible things, as we know. So that is the more or less the principles, and we have had, I understand, very good results, and would be interesting to see. I couldn't read your book. I know that you have a vast experience into training and managing establishments of this sort, and I look forward to being able to read your experience at one point. Yes. And as for Dorothy, I think she will be able to adapt some of these trainings to her school, because she is working with small children. But many of the practices also have been tested with many of our friends in Latin America, in places like Peru and Argentina and Ecuador, with young kids. And you have seen some of the books that we have shown around with drawings, and it's more fun, and they are much quicker to learn all these things, because for them it's natural. They are opening like flowers, And of course, they don't have the same difficulties that grown up people that have developed some bad habits. So it's amazing working with children.
I normally call them an empty flash disk. What you store in their mind is what they grow up knowing.
That's superb because then they are the hope for humanity. Because the older generations, we carry in our memory lots of bad habits from the previous things that we have done and from the culture that is coming from previous moments in history. And of course, there are lots of things that we don't like in those cultural inheritance because it's a culture of violence, the culture that we see in society in our days. And obviously, in the traditional education, in the system of schools that are established and are supported by authorities and by governments, there are lots of contents that precisely perpetuate all the wrong habits of behavior in people and deform instead of forming the new generations. That is what you humanist thinks in different spheres.
Yeah.
That we have to change the culture, a culture of violence, a culture of individualism, of lack of solidarity, where we put the other person as if it was a potential enemy because we value more the things, the objects, the money, the power. We value that over human life and the respect for others. And yes, it can be changed because we have seen societies in the world, and we adhere a lot to the principles of Ubuntu in the African culture. That in opportunities, in moments of history, has produced incredible developments and practically has overcome war or physical conflict and integrated societies. That is quite opposed to the prevalent culture in the Western countries, countries that they are colonized or have colonized the rest of the world. We in Latin America have been colonized for the Europeans and the Americans as a subproduct of the of the European cultures, and Africa has been colonized by the Europeans. Today, precisely, I um, collected an article that is in RT News, the chain in Russia, but that recollects the origin, the political origin of the African colonization for the last 500 years, with lots of very precise quotes and indications. And it's extremely interesting. Obviously, all that influence has affected the ancient cultures of each one of our nations, both in Latin America and in Africa. So I think we have lots of similarities in our colonial past and lots, therefore, of experiences that are valid to be shared among us at this particular stage, where we are breaking away and affirming the best values of our cultures, both in Africa and Latin America.
Thank you very much, Antonio. This is very, very good insight into the core of the matter, if you
The core of
might
the
say.
matter. And I
Yeah,
will share that article that I am mentioning with both Justina and Dorothy
yeah,
after
yeah.
in the morning. Yeah.
And we might also even put it on the African Humanist Forum platform.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so
but
because the
we
forum
will
has
see.
just recently developed a workshop on colonialism, and in response of the question, is colonialism a thing of the past, or is still alive and taking more subtle forms? And the conclusion of the presenters, that were two African women with vast experience in the fields, one anthropologist that was born in the Dominican Republic, but is of African origin, and the other one is Florbella Malaquias from Angola. She's an MP. Is a member of parliament who formed the Humanist Party by her own initiative 3 or 4 years ago. She found the details in internet in WikiLeaks or one of those networks, and took all the fundamental ideas, and she found that we coincided so much with her own experience that she then formed the party. She is a lawyer, and she contested the election, and her party got 2% of the vote. That was enough to have two MPs. And so she's in government, and she's influencing as much as she can. Of course, if you are 2% and two MPs, and there is a monopoly by the traditional parties, there's not much you can do. But little by little, her influence probably will, like a drop in the sea, will go producing some sort of effect.
Yeah, this is very interesting, and I'm very happy myself because of this, because I am I am active through the Humanist Party of Iceland, that is affiliated to the International Humanist Party, and there I, have been active for how many years? 50 years, something like that.
Sometime,
I
yeah.
was on the international coordination team for 4 years, some years ago, and we have minded very much, and we have managed to keep the very essence of the Humanist Party as a party, that everything comes from the base and upward, and so it's like a very direct and participatory democracy, and that is what we are here for. We reject, we condemn totally this pseudo democracy, like the representative democracy, which is a big lie, because the only thing that happens is that you go to the voting, and what you are doing, that you are, giving away your power, your right for decision for yourself and your life, to a few corrupted, usually individuals, and you cannot do anything. They control everything, because all the strings are in their hands. So we are in a big lie, and this we need to reveal not in a rara,
No,
in a way in which can be comprehended by everyone.
we want to
And I
empower
think,
people. Yes, the
yeah,
grassroots, the society, each
the
one of
grass,
us.
yeah. We
So
are,
that will make accountable the corrupt governments, as Julius is saying. When
yeah.
people have the clear direction of where you want to go, and they demand from the political or whatever establishment of representativity of the state to fulfill the commitments and their obligations. And it's very important, because we have to change the way of thinking of lots of people and empower them.
Yeah. Dorothy, I'm curious. I sent to you back in time the book from Peru with the children's education, didn't I?
Yes, you send it to me.
Yeah. Have you started to try it, use the modules there?
Yeah, I've started trying to go through it.
Yeah. And is it helpful?
Yeah, it's helpful to the children.
Yeah. No, that's a very, very nice book also, referring to the children.
But we will have, because books are good as a reference, as a backup. But we have to do the work of what is written in the books. That's why the good teachers, the good transmitters of the wisdom that appears in books is essential. And so in the moment that you are ready, we can establish contact with people who are actively in education in some of those countries, who are already into teaching every single day, and then you can create synergies, and then you can exchange, and that will be very useful
Yeah,
for the application of your children in your school. That will be excellent.
Yeah.
So all this is very preliminary, what we are doing at the moment, to explain why we
yeah,
think that
no,
we have a coincidence of interests. So what do you think, Justina, of all this? And tell us something about what are you
yeah,
doing at the moment?
please.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can get me.
Yeah, we can get you.
You can get me well, eh? Yeah,
Well,
so yeah, my name is Justina. I'm a senior correction officer working for Kenya Prison Service, which is a government institution under the Ministry of Interior here in Kenya. Currently, I'm the in charge of the juvenile facility, the biggest. We handle children who are in conflict with the law aged between 15 and below 18 years. And they come in with different trends of crimes. So they come in for training as a correction method. So in our training, we have vocational training. We offer hand skills in carpentry, hairdressing, pastry, and baking, 16 units. We also have, again, the agriculture courses and the technical courses. We have 5. We have goat keeping, cattle rearing, beekeeping, mushroom farming, and the enterprise part. Then we have those who come with formal education, literate. So the semi-literate, they join the 2 platforms. The literate ones, they join the formal education. So we offer Kenya National Examination Councils. Here we have the current CBC and also the former one, which is phasing out the secondary education.
hmm
So we offer both. So it is an integrated school. It's actually an education center with the correction side of it because we receive children direct from court, and the children that we hold don't pay fees. It's the government that pays. So as I sent a message to Mr. Julius, I saw the program that you shared of Argentina. That program is very good, excellent. Most of the things that you touched there are related to the pathways that push the boys to criminality. Because not only the boys, I happen to be in charge of a female institution for juveniles earlier, and even women prisons, and now I'm here counting 5 institutions. And I have
hmm
interacted with them and the pathways that push them to criminality, both the adults and the juveniles. And now that our work as a correction facility is to attend to these trends, the forces, the push factors and the pull factors to their criminality. I have gone through the program and I will recommend it like yesterday. The
hmm
only thing is that as I replied today, is that for us, since we are dealing with persons that are in the interest of the government and the security of the government, normally they require the profile of the developers of the model, the model itself, and there are forms that are filled. Then our intelligence team will go through the
screen
persons,
them.
yeah, the persons, and then also the program. So there is a lot of security screening before we implement any program. So personally, I will support it. I'll champion for it
hmm
once we have done that. So first foot forward is that now that we have Dorothy
hmm
around, we
hmm
can use her for now. Now that both of you are far, Dorothy can receive that request for this training to be effected in our prisons. We can start with juvenile facilities where we have the children. We have
hmm
4 currently. So request that the program be uh, be done in our institution. Then put Dorothy as the contact Kenya person so that now in case of anything she can be there to answer questions and to stand in during vetting by the intelligence team.
Perfect.
That's the easiest way to have it done. Otherwise, my 100% support.
Thank you.
Away
That's
from
very
my
nice.
government duty, courtesy of my multiple awards and in correction work, I extend my services to the community as a CSR. I have youth that I mentor as a patron, over 1,000 youths. And on 17th, I'll be having a launch of one of my books, and I'll be supporting a youth summit in where I come from, Taita Taveta, within the region that I work in, but in another county. So we will be having the youths there during the summit to talk to them. So I invite you, and if
Yeah.
if you have a model for the youths, then that one will not need a lot of protocol, because I'm the founder of that initiative. I call it
Okay.
Iron Sharpens Iron. So I use my knowledge, my skills and connections, like you, Julius, Antonio, and
Hmm.
Dorothy, to support the youths in underprivileged counties, where now we support them in empowerment in terms of capacity building in skills and knowledge. And if funds and resources allow, we support their businesses. So for that one, if there is a model that you have for them, that one will not like have a lot of protocol to administer. Yeah,
Yeah.
for those outside the prison. So I welcome you to join me and my
Very much.
initiative, Iron Sharpens Iron, Mama Africa, so that we can reach out. I reach people in churches because I'm born again. I
Hmm.
reach people in during weddings, like today. I'll be a speaker shortly.
Hmm.
I've requested them to give me like 30 minutes so that we can talk. The wedding
Uh-huh.
is going on. So I even talk to people during funerals on the things that you are talking about a few minutes ago, how to entangle people, to free people in their minds, so that now they can go out and conquer and build kingdoms. It all starts from the mind. Even in the Bible, it's written that God said, "Let us make man." Let us. So it starts from a thought. A thought is in the mind before it's put into action. Whatever
Exactly.
we think, so long as we think it right and it's supported by God, we can effect it. God bless you.
Beautiful. Yes. I mean, it coincides very much with the philosophy of humanism. And we think that God can be
Thank you.
found in the bottom of our hearts and minds.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Not so much in altars or in figures or in external things, but really within ourselves. All the consciousness can connect with God. That is the philosophy of a humanist. That is very much the idea in Christianity of a born again Christian. No? Mm.
Justina,
That's
just
so
for
nice,
curi-
Justina. Justina, that is so nice. I'm so grateful, and you are now making me to change my calendar because I'm supposed to come to Pwani University. There's a child I'm taking there, so maybe I
Yeah.
can travel on the 16th and then leave the child in an Airbnb and attend your book launch on
Wow.
17th, so
Wow.
that I can
Wow.
familiarize with people a bit on
Wow.
that platform. When you'll be talking about
Yes.
me, you know that lady was at the launch.
Yes.
And then on 18th, I can admit the boy at Pwani University. Then I travel back because we are expecting some visitors on 23rd. Regna is coming to Kisumu, so I have to
Oh.
also to be back here.
Oh. Wow.
So
Wow. You are
now
welcome.
I'll be coming on the 17th,
Oh.
so that
Wow.
at least we
I.
can have
I.
one-on-one talk. And
Yes.
by the time I'll be helping in doing anything, it will be a person you've met in personally, and it will
Yes.
also be easy. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I also run an Airbnb, so I can have the
Mm.
boy in one of my Airbnb.
I think we'll talk about that one. I think that
Yes,
is ideal. It will even make me to be nearer for the launch.
yeah. Then it will be easier, even because he can be using my driver, and my in case he needs any support, he can be supported, so that you don't leave him in limbo. Thank you.
Yeah, that will be
Wonderful.
nice so that when I arrive, at least I have somebody.
Yeah.
Very practical
That's
Thank
things
so
you.
that
great.
everything fits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just connecting.
So how can we communicate
Yeah,
if we
let me
attend to your events?
let me tell you this. In this humanistic way of approaching things, uh, before I received all these awards from the President of Kenya Award as an head of the Grand Warrior of Kenya, to the Africa Women Empowerment Champion Award, to even UN recognition. I've traveled from here to New York to speak last year in September. Yeah, on women empowerment, and I went there in uniform, full uniform, and I was recognized. I was recognized as a woman driver of peace and innovation in countering violent extremism because I've developed models. I am attached to International Institute for Justice and the Rule of Law based in Malta, Europe, and the UN. I trained for them to date. So at first, people saw me like, how can a criminal be supported? As in, you're going too low. These people have done the worst. And I started with women, giving my own narrative that some of the push factors why women even kill is because of the deprivation. When someone feels so deprived, it affects your mind and your heart. That the God's heart, when God says, I create you in my own image, we move away from that image of God and we start hurting one another, stealing from one another, and all those crimes. Because when we are pushed to the wall, then the animal part of us comes out. So I always view it like the people who commit crimes and are behind bars, there might be a push factor that us, me and you, could have approached it in a way for us to stop it. So that's why I go to the community to talk to them on how to treat women well so that the animal part doesn't come out and the crime now comes. To treat youths well, to treat men well. So that's the inspiration behind that. Thank you.
Brilliant. And our main, more ethical and behavioral principle is treat others as you like to be treated.
Yeah.
And it's the same principles, treat your next the way that you want to. And God above everything is Christianity, and is called the golden rule. In all the big civilizations in history, in the top moments of progress, they have upheld that principle and they have practiced. If you want to be treated in a certain way, that's the way that you have to treat the person next to you. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Justin, I
And
have
I'm
one
a human
question.
rights trainer.
Mm.
I'm
Okay,
saying I'm also
okay.
a human rights trainer. Yeah, I train
Yeah,
prison
Okay.
officers on human rights. Yeah.
yeah. Good.
That's
And because we are
beautiful.
having to do lots of dissemination and lots of different events. For example, now probably Dorothy told you that we are preparing for a world march on peace and non-violence that for the third time is being prepared and is crossing different countries of Africa and all the continents, in fact.
Wow. Wow.
So in all that context, I mean, I think there are lots of things that we can create synergies, and we can project your expertise into different and different audiences in different
I'm
countries and
available.
cultures and all that.
Yeah.
The more we
I'm
have to,
available.
fantastic.
Yeah. I'm
So
very much
this,
available. The other day I was telling somebody when I was going to speak during the UN General Assembly in a, in New York under the Global Counterterrorism Forum. I renewed my what do you call it? My visa to US, and
Yes.
it's supposed to expire in 2029, so I can go there. Europe, I have those I've been mentoring, I've been working with them since 2017, 2018 to date, so I can be mobile and have you people to support you as you support us in Kenya with my sister.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
okay,
That's
Yes.
so
thank
nice.
you.
So you can
Yeah,
move
yeah.
in Europe, you
Just,
can go everywhere.
Yes, I have that. I'm allowed. I'm
yeah,
cleared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Wow,
So Justin,
that's so nice.
what about, of curiosity, uh, your when you're launching your book on the 18th of August,
17th of August.
Will it be 17th of August? Will it be streamed on the internet?
Yeah, we can organize. We can organize.
That will be so.
Yeah, we will
so
stream
beautiful
on.
because then
We will stream on Facebook, because that I am a patron to the Taita Taveta Youth Alliance. So we have our Facebook page where we will stream. So I'll share with you so that you can join.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So it will even be recorded, no?
Yeah.
It will be
Yeah,
recorded.
it will also be recorded. I'll have a YouTube channel for that, so you can watch even after. Because sometimes streaming it within some time it gets lost. Yeah.
Yeah. So one practical question: when it is important if some number of your books will be able. They should be in Kisumu when Ragnar from Iceland arrives there, because he could take a stack of books and bring them to Iceland, for dissemination there, and we can also divert them to activist feminist groups, because we are working closely with a very radical and real socialist party, especially the youngsters, and so we can communicate on the prospects
you
of
you
this
can meet my pastor,
angle.
Mr. Julius.
How are you?
Meet my pastor who was preaching
Very
in
nice to
the.
meet you.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, they are here.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Hello.
Glad to meet you.
They've been wondering where you've gone to.
Hello.
No, we are here.
Okay, that's nice. So, Julius, do you think I should carry the books from Mombasa when I'm coming back, so that when I meet Ragnar in Kisumu, I can give him?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that would be the thing. Yes, beautiful.
Okay. Done.
So I
Consider
think
it
we
done.
yes,
That's a very executive meeting.
peace and joy. Peace, force, and joy to all of you.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, I will now close the meeting.
Perfect.
Mr.
Well, very nice
Mr.
seeing you
Julius
both,
and Antonio.
Christina and Dorothy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I speak to them and then I get back, or we are done?
Yes.
No, we are done.
Oh, we are done. So kindly, Dorothy, the book launch is on 17th August. And during that time, I'll give you my books. I have my memoir, The Still Symphony, and the one that I'll be launching. Thank you for allowing me to reach to Iceland and those areas.
Thank
I'll
you
be
for
glad to.
allow us to
people
meet
will read
you.
me
It's
there.
a privilege.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Dorothy, thank you so much for your introduction.
Bye-bye.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bravo, bravo.
Yes. Bye.
We will talk.
It's
Bye-bye.
Dorothy, tutaongea Kikenya.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.